The long-simmering conflict between Israel and Hezbollah escalated dramatically on September 20, 2024. An Israeli airstrike ripped through a gathering in Beirut's southern suburbs. The target was a meeting of Hezbollah commanders. The casualties were high. Among the dead was Ibrahim Aqil, a shadowy figure with a history of violence. His death sent shockwaves through the region, raising fears of a wider conflict. The strike marked a significant escalation in the shadow war between Israel and Hezbollah. This conflict, characterized by targeted killings and covert operations, had largely remained below the radar of international attention. The strike on September 20th shattered that fragile peace. It thrust the conflict into the spotlight, raising questions about the potential for a wider war. The immediate aftermath of the strike was chaotic. Rescue workers scrambled to pull survivors from the rubble. Ambulances raced the injured to overwhelmed hospitals. The smell of smoke and death hung heavy in the air. The images of destruction and despair broadcast around the world served as a stark reminder of the human cost of this conflict. The strike came at a time of heightened tension in the region. The Israel-Hamas war just weeks earlier had already pushed the region to the brink. The strike on Hezbollah, a key Iranian proxy, seemed to confirm fears that the conflict was spreading. The world watched with bated breath, waiting to see how Hezbollah would respond. Ibrahim Aqil was not a household name. He operated in the shadows, a key figure in Hezbollah's military apparatus. But his influence within the organization was undeniable. He was a master of logistics and planning, responsible for smuggling weapons and coordinating attacks against Israel. Aqil's history was intertwined with Hezbollah's rise to power. He joined the group as a young man, drawn to its ideology of resistance against Israel. He quickly rose through the ranks, proving himself to be a capable and ruthless operator. He was implicated in numerous attacks against Israeli targets, his name whispered in intelligence circles but rarely spoken aloud. Aqil's expertise lay in exploiting the porous borders of Lebanon and Syria. He established sophisticated smuggling networks, funneling weapons and fighters into Hezbollah's arsenals. He was a master of disguise and deception, able to evade Israeli intelligence for years. His death was a major blow to Hezbollah, depriving the group of a skilled military leader. It also exposed the vulnerability of Hezbollah's command structure, demonstrating Israel's ability to strike at the heart of the organization. The Israeli Defense Forces were quick to claim responsibility for the strike. They justified the attack as a preemptive measure aimed at disrupting Hezbollah's plans for future attacks against Israel. They insisted that the gathering targeted included senior Hezbollah commanders responsible for planning and executing attacks. The IDF released grainy footage purportedly showing the moments leading up to the strike. The images, while inconclusive, seemed to show a gathering of individuals in military fatigues. The IDF argued that the strike was carried out with precision, minimizing civilian casualties. However, the reality on the ground painted a different picture. The strike hit a densely populated neighborhood, causing widespread destruction and claiming the lives of innocent civilians. The Lebanese government condemned the strike as a blatant violation of its sovereignty and a war crime. The high civilian death toll fueled outrage across the region. Protests erupted in Beirut and other cities, condemning Israel's actions and demanding retribution. The strike served as a grim reminder of the devastating consequences of the cycle of violence that has plagued the region for decades. The strike on Beirut sent shockwaves through the region, shattering the uneasy calm that had settled after the Israel-Hamas war. It heightened tensions between Israel and Hezbollah, raising fears of a wider conflict that could engulf the entire region. The strike also underscored the volatile geopolitical landscape of the Middle East. The region is riven by sectarian conflict, proxy wars, and competing regional ambitions. The Israel-Hezbollah conflict is but one symptom of this deeper malaise. Hezbollah, backed by Iran, is a major player in Lebanon's complex political landscape. The group possesses a formidable military force, capable of striking deep within Israel. Its entanglement in regional conflicts, particularly in Syria, has further fueled tensions with Israel. The strike on Beirut threatened to ignite this powder keg. It raised the specter of a wider war, one that could draw in regional and international powers. The world watched nervously, hoping that cooler heads would prevail.